As we look to the future, we must not only enable digital access to records, but continue to make records accessible for in-person researcher access and preserve the original records for generations to come. In this digital age, it is important that we do not lose sight of the fact that if it were not for the original documents, photographs, and objects in our holdings, we would not be able to make these older records digitally accessible. While having digital access to images allows us to serve researchers who are not able to travel to NARA, there is no comparison to the experience of seeing an original photograph or document. The images I have been showing are some of the photographs in NARA's Still Pictures branch holdings that I've had the pleasure of working with in my 6 years as NARA Senior Photograph Conservator. Even while more of our images are available online, we are still seeing an increase in researchers coming to NARA to access our holdings. In fiscal year 12, NARA's Still Pictures Research Room had 4,407 in-person researchers, which is significantly higher than the 2,956 researchers the previous year, approximately a 33% increase in researcher usage. While NARA's Still Pictures branch holdings include 500,000 born digital photographs and graphic images, we have somewhere around 13 to 14 million analog photographs and negatives, and this does not include our vast photographic holdings within NARA textual branches, our regions, and presidential libraries. Only a fraction of our Still Pictures analog holdings have been digitized. Today, I will be focusing on what we are doing in conservation to better preserve our original analog photographic and graphic images for the future. Back in 2007, Conservation received a request from Still Pictures to treat a collection of approximately 20 World War II German and Russian anti-German propaganda posters so that they could be imaged for future researcher access. Traditionally, color slides have been made of similar posters and the slides made accessible to researchers. However, this has currently been replaced by digital imaging or scanning and a digital hard copy print made available to in-person researchers. The posters are hand-painted, usually on poor quality paper. Many of the posters have been folded due to their size or were separated in sections. As part of the treatment process, we needed to consider how these posters would be stored after treatment, as they range in size up to 53 inches wide and up to 99 inches long. The posters cannot be rolled and must be stored flat due to the flaking of the paint and poor quality support papers. The poster shown here is one of our medium-sized posters after treatment and housing. To date, oversized items and still pictures have been stored in boxes or portfolio housings on the top surface of the movable map case system in the still picture stack. Our largest housing measures 114 inches by 82.5 inches and holds a World War I billboard poster. When treatment of the oversized Russian posters began, we realized that there would not be enough space on top of the map cases to store all of the posters. A few of the posters would be small enough to fit in the larger map case drawers, but majority of the posters would require oversized storage. We began working on plans for shelving over the map cases to expand oversized storage capabilities. In order to accommodate the largest World War I billboard and World War II Russian posters, shelving would need to span over 3 map cases wide, 166 inches, and 2 map cases deep, 90 inches. And if I can get the pointer to work. This housing in the front is actually the largest housing for the World War I billboard poster, and you can see it covers over 3 map cases wide and 2 map cases deep. I am happy to announce that a contract has recently been awarded, and we expect the new shelving to be installed this winter. The new shelving will span over 1, 2, and 3 map cases long, 2 map cases deep, and will allow 3 shelves high for record storage growth. The middle rows of the map cases will continue to be movable with the shelving installed. Treatment of the posters is ongoing and includes surface cleaning, consolidation of flaking paint, removal of old mends and pressure-sensitive tape, humidification and flattening, and mending tears and losses. Photo conservation projects at NARA range from large in quantity to smaller groups and individual items, and also large in size to small. Many of our large-scope projects have involved humidification and flattening of photographs for researcher access. Two such ongoing projects include RG79AR, Records of the National Park Service, White House photographs taken by Abbey Rowe, documenting the presidencies of Franklin D. Roosevelt, Harry S. Truman, Dwight D. Eisenhower, John F. Kennedy, and Lyndon B. Johnson. And RG72AC, Records of the Bureau of Aeronautics, Photographs of Experimental Aircraft, from 1928 to 1946. These are multi-year treatment projects. In the case of the Abbey Rowe photographs shown here, many photographs became slumped and curled in their boxes as a result of overfilling file folders and not providing adequate spacer boards to take up excess space in the boxes. Over 3,000 photographs required treatment. In the case of the experimental airplane photographs, the photographs came to NARA housed in a variety of binder enclosures. Many of the binders and photographs inside them also became curled over time. Approximately 3,000 photographs require treatment, and another 10,500 photographs require passive flattening and housing with spacer boards inside document boxes. For both these projects, the 8x10 black and white silver gelatin photographs are passively humidified in a humidity chamber created in a large lab sink. The photographs remain in the chamber for up to 3 hours until they relax. They are then placed between very smooth Holitex unwoven polyester fabric and sandwiched between blotters and corrugated board. The pressing stack is weighted with heavy plexiglass and additional weights if needed. Photographs remain in the stack for a minimum of 1 week, although they are often left to flatten for a few weeks. Following flattening, the photographs may exhibit some curl, although this is often in the counter direction, which will not cause them to slump in the box. The amount of photographs inside each folder was reduced as needed. Rigid archival corrugated board spacers are also placed in boxes as needed to help maintain rigidity and prevent photographs from slumping or curling. These are some of the after-treatment images of the presidential photographs. The image on the left is a box after treatment. The image on the right is President Kennedy signing the proclamation for the Cuba blockade on October 23, 1962. This image is of President Kennedy with Martin Luther King Jr. and other civil rights leaders on August 28, 1963, the day of the March on Washington. President Johnson watching the launch of the Gemini 3 spaceflight on March 23, 1965. And these are after-treatment images of the 2 experimental aircraft that I showed earlier. Some individual small photographs we have treated for still pictures include broken lantern slides from RG30, Records of the Bureau of Public Roads, measuring approximately 3 inches by 4 inches, as shown here before and after treatment in normal and transmitted light. Lantern slides are early projection slides, which consist of a gelatin or collodion image traditionally on glass. Often the images were hand-colored, such as this example. A clear cover glass was placed over the emulsion, and then the 2 pieces of glass were taped together. Lantern slides were also later made using an image on film, which was then sandwiched between 2 clear pieces of glass and taped together. And we have examples of these in our holdings as well. We occasionally find slides that are broken, either that they become broken at NARA, as in the case of some of the RG30 slides that were in a box that was accidentally dropped by a researcher, or they are discovered broken as part of the archival processing process. The broken cover glass can be replaced with new glass of similar thickness and retaped together. If the glass slide is broken in several pieces, we tend to sandwich the slide between 2 new pieces of glass to stabilize it. And here are some images of the broken slide before and after treatment in normal and transmitted light. And finally, I'd like to share with you the treatment of RG77KS, records of the Office of the Chief of Engineers, King Survey albums of albumin photographs by Timothy O'Sullivan. Geologist Clarence King led the survey for the War Department from June 1867 to 1872. This image shows the spine of 2 of the volumes. The 4 volumes of the King Survey photographs are among the treasures of NARA's Still Pictures holdings. The interior of the volumes have 2 different styles of decorative end papers. Volumes 1 and 2 have the checkered pattern shown on the left, with historic book plates from the Library of the U.S. Army Engineering Department. These volumes are also bound along the long side of the photographic plate. Volumes 3 and 4 have decorative marbled paper end papers, as shown at bottom right, and are bound along the short side of the photographic plate. The King Survey, which started at the California-Nevada border and included Utah, Colorado, and Wyoming, followed the 40th parallel of the American West and also the route of the Transcontinental Railroad. Sorry about that. Let me see. And you can see this is the 40th parallel here. The red line, if you can make that out in the slide, is the Transcontinental Railroad. And the King Survey area is this area right in here. King and O'Sullivan also traveled south of the 40th parallel to southern Idaho, where O'Sullivan photographed the Snake River and Shoshone Falls, and some of these images also appear in the volumes. The survey would provide the U.S. government with valuable information regarding the geography of this large and undocumented area, including locations of coal, silver, and gold deposits and mining operations, as well as civilization expansion. Photographs documenting the survey were taken by Timothy O'Sullivan over 4 working seasons. O'Sullivan also spent 3 seasons photographing for Lieutenant George M. Wheeler on the geographical and geological surveys west of the 100th meridian. And this area in here is where the Wheeler survey took place, and some of the areas overlap with the King survey. O'Sullivan used a large format camera capable of holding glass plates up to 9 by 12 inches, a smaller stereo view camera, and a portable darkroom during the King survey. The glass plate negatives would have been prepared and processed in the field, and the albumin prints later made from the negatives. O'Sullivan reportedly printed the photographs using the Treasury Department photographic rooms. NARA has photographs from both the King and Wheeler surveys among our still pictures holdings, and some of the original glass plate negatives. The photographs of the King survey are bound in 4 volumes. Often albums such as these were disassembled in order to display and or sell individual photographs, and it is rare to find complete volumes or sets. 25 photographs from among the 4 albums were detached for loan to the Philadelphia Museum of Art for the exhibition American Frontiers, the photographs of Timothy O'Sullivan, which ran from October 1981 to January 1982. 140 of NARA's O'Sullivan photographs were loaned for American Frontiers, which also traveled to 5 additional venues between 1982 and 1984. The photograph mounts have some damage along the edge where they were previously attached to the album. Conservator Stephen Lowe is reattaching the photograph pages to the original cloth hinges in the album using wheat starch paste and Japanese tissue. The album bindings are also being repaired as needed. For Volume 1, shown here after treatment, the loose end bands were reattached to the text block spine, and the loose paperboard lining was reattached to the inside of the leather spine at the end caps with wheat starch paste. The torn leather tail cap was reattached with a Japanese paper tube inserted inside the original paperboard hollow and attached with paste. And you can see the repair here on the right. Loose portions of leather and cloth on the cover were repaired with wheat starch paste. Damaged corners were repaired with paste and Japanese paper toned to match the original, as shown in the detail on the left. And I'd like to leave you with a few of the King Survey images. And now I'll turn the podium over to Susan Page.